up, they never say die. Walking tall with banners high, they sound the battle cry. G.I. Joe, there. G.I. Joe, American hero. G.I. Joe is there. Fighting for freedom wherever there's trouble over land and sea and air. G.I. Joe is there.
G.I. Joe, the Real American Headcast, is the code name for Aaron's daring, highly trained headcast. Its purpose? To podcast about G.I. Joe, Fighting Cobra, a ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world.
Fighting for freedom wherever there's trouble over land and sea and air. Retreat! Retreat! G.I. Joe, American hero. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe.
Yo, Joe. Hey, everybody. Brother Ed here. Let me make myself bigger. There I am. Hey, everybody. Brother Ed here. Another episode of G.I. Joe, a Real American Headcast. First off, I want to apologize for the delays in doing these recordings, releasing the show between my own personal problems and the holidays and everything else. Things just got out of control, but we are back with a new year and a new show. But before I get to the actual show, let me bring in some guests. First up, I have my fellow Californian, that's right, Kevin Reitzel, aka Raider Nerd.
What is up? I am ready, buddy. I am so ready. I'm glad to be
Good,
back
good.
since it feels like it's been a while. So yeah, I'm glad to be back, sir.
It's been a few minutes. So how's life treating you, buddy?
Pretty good, pretty good. It's not as cold as it is over in other parts of the country, but since we're in a wonderful place and where we live here, when it does get cold, we still bitch about it.
Oh yeah, very much so. And
Glad to be back.
well, glad to have you, man. So let's go and bring our next guest. Speaking of the cold, well, the cold doesn't bother me anyways. It apparently doesn't bother our next guest or next host.
Oh, good day. Good day. Good day. Good day. How's it going?
Dave Martell.
I love Bob and Doug McKenzie to no end. I love it.
Oh, I love, yeah. Fantastic. I love that movie, Strange Brew. Fantastic. I haven't watched that in a while, but
Have you seen that movie, David? It's
No.
it's
I've
you
seen
kind of
that
you
clip
kind of
of the
have to
movie.
see it. If you're Canadian. It's from a great TV series called SCTV. It was kind of like the Canadian version of Saturday Night Live, and that's where a lot of famous people got their start, like John Candy and of course Rick Moranis. It's really funny. And they had
like
a
Eugene
funny,
Levy.
yeah, and they had
They're
they had that funny skit, The Great White North, that just took off, and they ended up doing a movie called Strange Brew. They released a comedy album with Geddy Lee of Rush guest starring on it. It was great.
Fantastic. And like I
Oh,
say,
There's one thing that I saw recently. I saw Super Trooper 2. I had seen the first one a long while ago when it came out, I believe. And then when I watched this one, I didn't know about. I had seen some clips, some word clips about the key to life. We won't get into it, but I didn't know that there was a kind of a narrative about getting some parts of Canada that were now belonging to Vermont and something like that. So all the rivalry between the Canadian and the Americans was just so funny.
and also in the chat joining us, we have Heinz Koch. He says, "Yo, Joe, good afternoon, gentlemen.
What's up, Heinz?
Glad you could join us, Heinz." And Kevin Reitzel's also hanging out there.
That's right. Yeah. I love chatting with the chat. It's fun. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Very nice. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. So we are here today to talk about, let me bring up my, bring that back up. There we are. Today we're here to talk about some G.I. Joe. Before we get started, today I want to say that this episode is sponsored by Big Danny Cool and Sean Adams.
Right on.
Join those guys over on
Thank you, guys.
Patreon.
What a cool
we'll be-
name, Big Danny Cool. That's
I'm
yeah,
telling you. And we'll be talking more about them a little bit later on. But enough about them. Let's go ahead and move on to the actual show. We are here to talk about issue 67. So here is issue 67. So before we get into the issue itself, as usual, we like to look at the cover. So the cover of this one, for those listening to the podcast, why are you doing that? Come to the live viewing or live showing we do normally the fourth Sunday of every month. But this cover, we've got like a reddish orange background. There's a spotlight on Lady J knocking the holy crap out of Flint. His hat's flying off. And this is basically something from the book. So let's get some thoughts on this. Let's go ahead and start with Kevin. Kevin, do you have thoughts on this issue?
This is a great cover of this issue. It's the color palette is simple and it's kind of cool because it's got this kind of spotlight between Lady J and Flint. It's Flint, right? Yeah, Flint. And then she's just whacking the shit. Nice little right hook there. And it's like a spotlight is on what's happening, and his beret is up in the air and stuff. And it's just, I love it when they do a cool, simple color palette without too much stuff going on behind it.
Yes.
You know, no scenery behind it. And so it always pops. And like I always say in these shows, you know, when I'm thumbing through back issues and I see this, there it is. It's one of those that pop. And who did the artwork on this one?
The cover of this one, according to my notes, again, sometimes it is wrong, but according to Mike's Amazing World of Comics, this was done by Ron Wagner and Bob McLeod.
Okay. So not a Zek one. That's okay.
No
Or a
Zek.
Beatty one, but well done though. And the definition and the outline of all the two characters in this was done really well. And trying to figure out what Lady J's little symbol is on her cap. I have questions about that. I don't know what that is.
I've never been
but
sure about that.
But she looks great in it as well. She's pretty and giving it to Flint there. So yeah,
So-
it's a good cover. Like it.
Kevin, I have to ask the question that everyone's asking.
Yes,
Is
I know
she-
that. I know
is
the
she-
question.
Is she?
Hot. Yeah.
I love the way you do that, brother. I love that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at her. I mean, look at that. She's.
Oh,
I mean, I got to tell you, you know, when you look at all the good-looking ladies that we have in the GI Joe and Cobra universe, she's getting up there. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
she didn't have the long hair. She had to kind of like shorter hair sometimes, and she's highlighted, and she's a badass in the comics and in the cartoon all the time. So you got great name too.
And Dave, do you have thoughts on this cover?
Yeah, I'm supposed to bring the nice comments because I'm Canadian, so I have to be nice by default. I do enjoy the drawing. I mean, the lines are great, and Lady J is hot, obviously. So I like the dynamics in the image, but contrary to Kevin, I don't enjoy that much the simplicity. I find it a bit empty. So not that it's not a good cover, and since I came in from the cartoon mainly, if I had seen that as a kid, I would have been interested from the get-go just for the why is Lady J punching Flint?
Yes.
So that piques your interest. So it's not a bad cover, but for the personal preferences that I have, I find it a bit empty.
And nothing wrong with that. Yes. And we've all got our own preferences. I mean, we've talked about before a lot of these covers. Sometimes they depict a scene from within the book. Sometimes they depict, something stylized from the book. And sometimes it's just a random drawing. This is definitely something from the issue. And it, like you said, Dave, you bring a good point. It makes you wonder, why is Lady J punching Flint? What's going on here? If not just punching him, but knocking him, so hard his hat flies off and he's staggering back. So what's going on here? So, and again, I like both types. I like both the simplistic sometimes, but also like the more detailed, the more fantastical covers also. So it all depends on the subject matter and how they're doing it and the artist. But yeah, so let's get some thoughts or some numbers on this issue. Again, let me check my chat real quick. And yeah, anyone in the chat, feel free, Heinz, feel free to give us your thoughts on the cover, give us a cover rating. I'll read that on the air. But let's go ahead and this is on a scale of 1 to 5 Yojo Colas. Again, 1 being something that sucks, 3 being a decent cover, and 5 being something like behind Kevin's was it your right side there?
That's
It's
not
hanging
a
on the
5,
wall.
dude. That's like a
That's a
55.
12. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. This is perfection. Issue
Yeah, well, it's
43.
along those lines that you want to hang on the wall like that.
Yeah,
Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, this is like if I could have a banner, a skywriter, put this on the sky, and
There you
know,
go.
always show up. By the way, on Twitter, real quick, thanks to Jared, he found someone that took this cover, issue
Right.
43, and did an animated AI version of it. And it was
Oh.
yelling something like Cobra this or Cobra that, and it was shooting its gun. It was really cool.
Huh.
Because
That
I know
seems
everyone can
interesting.
animate pictures and stuff now with AI, and it's a thing, but it was really awesome. It just made it
Very
better.
nice.
So anyway,
Very nice.
as for this one, I'm gonna, it's going kind of 3.5, 4 out of 5. I'm gonna stick with 4 on this one, just because I love the color palette, I love the way it pops, and I think it was really well done.
Very nice.
And by the way,
And-
real quick, Yojo Colas were mentioned in this.
Oh yeah,
this
that's
book,
right.
which I thought was kind of cool.
Yes. Yep. Reason I picked that because they mentioned the comic, and I love when they mention it. So, Dave, 1 to 5.
I'm going to get it to give it 3 frosty Yojo Colas.
Very nice. And I myself will give it again. I like Kevin. I'm leaning towards 3.5, 4, but I think I'm going to fall firmly on the 4 side because this cover is, like I say, it's very simplistic, but it tells a story. It makes you question what's going on. It makes you want to read it just because of the cover itself. So that brings it up.
Heinz gave his grading on it, by the way, in the chat.
Yeah, I was gonna go there next. Thank you. Yes, and Heinz from the chat, he gives it about a 3. So we got 2 3s and 2 4s.
Nice. Thanks, Heinz.
He averages
Yeah,
out to a 3.5. So
One
yes,
of the
thank you for-
reasons that I went with the 3 is that when you see that this cover, you're going to think that this is the main event of the issue, that
Right.
this is very central, which it isn't really. I mean, it's important, the tension is there, but it's not like the issue is about that specifically.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's just one scene out of this entire book. But yeah, no, good point there, David. So let's go ahead and move on to the actual issue. This is G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, issue number 67. The cover date was January of 1988, but this was on sale September the 15th, 1987. I had just started my senior year of high school. The cover price of
87.
this, a while back.
Yep,
Cover
me
price is
too.
$1. $1 for a comic. Can you imagine that? Kids nowadays, what?
I remember when it went from 75 to $1. We're like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah,
What?
so did I. If this keeps going, I'm not going to afford this much longer. And anyways, the title of this was Cold Snap. Writer, Abnormal, Larry Hama. Penciler, Ron Wagner. Inker, Randy Emberlin. Letter, Joseph Rosen. Colorist, Nelson Yomtov. And as I stated earlier, the cover was done by Ron Wagner and Bob McLeod. And the editor of this was Bob Harris. The synopsis. The missing Joes return home and are reunited with Outback, whom they tell they bear no grudges about him leaving them behind. Flint goes off on Snake Eyes for doing the rescue mission without him, and then Lady J, pets him in his place, as we see on the cover. Meanwhile, Cobra is attempting to sell weapons to the government in Frozenhagen. Excuse me if I'm butchering that name. When the Prime Minister refuses to do business with them, they use the terror drones to incite the population to riot, causing the Prime Minister to call for martial law and, turn to Cobra. Back in San Francisco, a young man tries to steal Jinx's purse. The blind master takes him under his wing as Tommy and Storm Shadow have a conversation about right, wrong, and honor. And real quick, back in the chat, Heinz, again, he agrees with it. He said, I said the same thing when they went from 60 cents to 75 cents.
What is the average cost of like a regular comic book? Not like, a big,
I think they're either $3.99 or $4.99.
Jeez. Oh my God.
Yeah, the only ones I'm picking up right now is G.I. Joe for myself, both the Real American Hero and the other book. and then I'm getting Nightwing for my son Grayson.
Gotcha.
So there's a Firestorm book coming out soon. I'm gonna be getting, but that's for another podcast. Anyway, so let's go and get some thoughts on this. Let me go ahead and bring someone up full screen. Let's go start with our Canadian friend. There we are, Dave. Do you have thoughts on this issue?
Yeah, again, I'm supposed to give the nice comments. not that it's a bad issue, but I felt a little bit let down. I'm very happy to get an epilogue to the Barovia arc, so that's very nice at the start of the issue. When you go to Frozenland and Frozenlandhagen,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it's like maybe I just don't remember about the previous issues, but it's like not the first time that we hear about this place, but I did not expect them to go there at all. So when they explain the issue, you have the development with the prime minister. It felt a bit flat when I was reading this. The issue that comes after will have more meat on the bone.
Yes.
But then after this part with Storm Shadow and the Blind Master, it's okay. But I felt that this issue in general was a bit on the lower interest for me. But still, it's still G.I. Joe, so it's still interesting.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And my thoughts real quick, just on what you've said. Yeah, this issue is pretty much a transition issue.
Yeah,
We're transitioning. We're ending the Barovian storyline. We're moving into the terror drones of Cobra, and this has. I'll talk about when I give my comments, but this has long-reaching implications from the past also, which I mentioned here, and then also said some stuff with the Blind Master with his new protege, possibly. Kevin, do you have your thoughts?
Yeah, so you're right, and you took the words right out of my mouth. This is a transitional issue from what's happening, where our prisoners of war have finally come back, and then you kind of see what's happening with the Blind Master and Storm Shadow and Billy. I think the most interesting thing about this, but real quick, by the way, I do like that we actually get the punch inside the issue here. And I'll hold it up right here. But it's like, I'm kind of disappointed though, because it's like a small little panel right there.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, but it's like exactly what the cover is, which I thought was kind of weird. I'm like, did they do the issue first and go, okay, pick a panel and just make it larger? And I'm like,
I'd be curious on how they opted on going for that picture. Again, it's a great picture as we've talked about, but yeah,
it is. Yeah.
I'm curious how they decided. Who decided that?
Yeah, and I was looking up some information about this too. And so first of all, there's the first hint of Battle Force 2000 in this, if I remember correctly. Is that the kind of Space Force, because it shows the Defiant being put back underneath the ground?
Not necessarily the Space Force. It's more like the futuristic, I guess.
Okay.
They've got the and again, I had one of the vehicles and figures. I wasn't a huge fan of them for some reason, but yeah, they're the ones that had vehicles and they all merged together to form like a little base or something.
That makes sense, because I stopped kind of collecting that stuff. I kind of stuck to other things. But also too, that Lady J and Flint become official, like a couple, of course they have the fight first and stuff like that. And we learn more about the terror drones and what they can do when they're lined up. And I think Cobra's business with the terror drones is actually quite clever. Mm-hmm. And the way that they use these airwaves or whatever it is to agitate people and to start to become distrustful and argue and fight, thus making their warmongering more profitable in a way you can look at it. I thought that was a very cool plan, and I kind of feel this is almost, you can kind of take this out of certain news recently, when you think about things. But I love how the terror drone business has been going, and how I'm trying to remember here the country of Fruzenland, and Prime Minister Wolf, how he was like, no, I don't want your business. now I need your business, you know. So that was very, very clever. And I was
Yes.
looking at this one panel here that I thought was kind of cool, where the Cobras are on their Cobra ship, and I'm looking at these other kind of cool vehicles,
Oh,
and I'm
yes.
like, what are those? Like these
Yeah.
right there. See that? They look like a cross between a tank and a race car or something like that. Those looked really cool. I'm like, I want that toy. See that right there? That's pretty cool. But yeah, it's transitional and it's kind of setting stuff up, and but visually aesthetic, I thought was pretty good in this. There was a lot of really cool art in this, especially when they go to the riot part. I thought that was very cool. But it was just kind of cool to see Dr. Mindbender and the new Cobra Commander and Fred, that is, and Baroness working together here on this and getting things going. And I did like the subtle scene with the blind master stopping the kid from stealing the purse, but then like not allowing him to get arrested by the police and kind of taking him under the wing and giving him another shot. And you kind of get a feeling of what the blind master is about, what he can do, and literally the things that he can see in people, even though he can't see, and giving them a chance. I thought that was kind of a cool little thing as well. So overall, yes, transitional, a good cover. But yeah, it's not one of those like, action packed ones, you're kind of, looking at where our characters are. And I got to tell you, you're kind of feeling for, Mr. Outback there about what he's gone through. And I like the fact that, he followed orders to escape, and he felt bad about it, but they all rallied around him saying you did what you had to do. And you can kind of, I thought that was done really well visually with the artist and the way that he was standing and slumping and not with everyone when they were greeted, and how they sought him out and said, hey, you're still with us. And that was a good thing. So yeah, that's my initial thoughts on the episode and the issue.
Nice. And before I go any further, again, make sure I'm horrible at this. I'm working on trying to get better. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons if you like what we're doing. Let me bring up full screen. There we are. Make sure the like and subscribe buttons down below, and join us here on the fourth Sunday of every month. But let's go and give my thoughts on that. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Before I do that, almost forgot. Kevin, you were mentioning that vehicle. I believe that vehicle. Let me see if I can do this right. Because again, I'm horrible at this sometimes.
I had never seen it. It looks kind of like, one of those early like race cars from the 50s and 60s.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
I believe that's what it is. The Cobra Wolf.
Oh, wait. No, you're not sharing it. No, sorry. Yeah.
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Let me try that again. Stream your.
Yeah. Just go down to the plus button there, hit share screen,
that.
And then you actually have to go.
Yeah, I did that. Oh, let me try this. Bear with me, everybody, while I attempt to get this worked out.
What's it called?
It's the Cobra Wolf.
Yeah, it's the wolf. And the driver, I believe, is Ice Viper. What's interesting is he has weapons, but he has a dual size.
Can you see my screen now, guys?
Yeah.
Is it coming up?
Yes. Okay.
Cobra Wolf.
Yeah, when you said
that's pretty cool.
You want that to be a toy? I'm like, I think that is a toy. I had to go look, make sure. Yeah, it came with Ice Viper.
Okay.
It came out in what year was this? 1987.
Yep.
There is one on eBay that's open for $40.
It came out the same year as the Pogo, which I love, and everyone's favorite, the Coastal Defender.
Yes.
Came out that same year.
That's a pretty cool. That's the first time I've ever seen that one. I
think I had the Cobra, the Wolf, if I'm not mistaken.
That's very cool.
But,
Nice. Okay.
I figured I'd share that with you. So, anyways, let's go ahead and give my thoughts on this. See if I can do this. I need a second monitor here. I've got one. I just need to hook it up. So again, as you mentioned, I do love the look on Outback's face there.
Yeah.
When they're on the way to meet the plane, and how whoever it was talking about how, it's got to be really, he's got to feel really bad leaving his friends, but he's had to do it. And just that look on Outback's face is just, like Kevin said, the art on this was just magnificent and showing his remorse and just the way he feels about that. I
And Quick Kick in the next panel going, man, the only thing that kept us going in the gulag was knowing that you got out with the real
Yes.
word on what went down over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then says we couldn't walk. What were you going to do? Carry us all across the border? You don't have a cape and a pair of tights, do you? No, man, you did right. So that was very
Yes.
cool. Yeah.
And I do like here when they're executing the jet, and Stalker's like, why does everyone look so down for what? Nixon president again?
Yeah.
And again, as Kevin said, maybe it makes me think some real world. But anyway, that's another story entirely. Again, like Kevin said, that I do love that Stalker and the gang did not hold it against him that he got out, and he followed orders, and like I say, they hunted him down, and they wanted to tell him, no, we don't hold you responsible. In fact, we're happy you got out and was able to get the word out what's going on. And I do like the comment there about Stalker. I think it was Stalker saying that no your Joe's going to blame you for obeying orders and getting out.
Yeah.
And my thoughts on that as well. Most, but not everyone. Yeah, some of them maybe did hold it against them a little bit. And I zoomed up there a little bit on Leatherneck watching. I don't know why I did that, but there maybe is a reason there. Because that issue when he got back, Leatherneck was why'd you leave your friend? You should have disobeyed. So anyway,
what was the name of that Cobra vehicle again? I'm sorry.
The Cobra Wolf.
The Cobra. So it's so funny is I did a search on eBay as you were discussing that, as I mentioned.
Right.
And then how eBay will know that you searched or click on something and they'll say, hey, we got this other related item.
Right.
I just got a notification for eBay says, hey, we've got a 1991 vintage Hasbro G.I. Joe Cobra Battlecopter Heliviper. That's that one where the Cobra guy's just hanging with his feet, not touching anything. And it's just like a round copter blade above.
Yes. Very nice. I don't have a screenshot of that, but then I like where Psych Out was diagnosing Snake Eyes and Scarlet and saying, they were traumatized. They were by the explosion, but they seem fit for duty now. we know you went off book, but
what kind of counseling moment would that be where you're just in a room with Psych Out? I mean, how does that go? Does that get uncomfortable? Like Soprano and his psychiatrist. I mean,
I'm sure, very much so.
And gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
What's that, David?
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And as we talked about, I love that where Lady J's just knocking the crap out of Flint. And I know this is where they officially get together, but I've always pictured them together. I don't know if it's just because I remember this or what, but Flint and Lady J have gone together like Snake Eyes and Scarlet, but
Duke and Duke and Scarlet, depending on We'll
and
talk about that later.
As I talked about before, I came from the cartoon first, so it was always Duke and Scarlet. Yeah. But then when I got into the comics, I saw she was with Snake Eyes. First, like what? Oh, that works out a lot better for me actually. That's not what we're talking about today. Lady J knocking out Flint. Then we find out the next part for the ultimate plan for the Terrordromes and what's going on with them. And like you talked about, they incited the violence and to be able to sell more of their weapons to the populace.
I love the champagne pop.
Yeah. And I love the callback to, and this is from issue 2. Yeah. Our buddy Quinn. Again, I went back to look at issue 2 just to see, that's what he was talking about. So
I totally forgot about that. I love the call out all the way back to number 2. Issue number 2.
And I know Larry says, he said, he doesn't really plot these out. He just whatever happens. But I do love that. Yeah, he actually referred back to issue 2. And if you did like I did, you go back and look at issue 2. Yeah, you can see what's going on here.
They shouldn't have killed off Quinn.
Yeah, that was big mistake. But I do like that callback there. Give me further pages. And I like the blind master taking on the young thief under his wing.
Yeah,
he could have turned
that young thief had a really cool like mid 80s blonde mullet. It was pretty cool actually. I gotta say. Should
have put that in there also. I didn't, but
got the Van Halen shirt. I think.
Is that what he had? I can't remember.
pretty
I've got
good.
the issue. I'm scrolling through, looking real quick. Yes.
It's like a VH
Yeah.
shirt. Yeah.
Yes, it was the Van Halen shirt, a red shirt with the Van Halen logo in yellow. Yes.
Yeah, you're right. That's
Very nice
cool.
call there, Dave.
Good call
Yes.
How did I not notice that? Bad Kevin.
Yeah.
Out of anyone on this
Exactly,
group,
Kevin.
I expected Kevin to, actually.
I'm gonna go home now. Oh wait, I'm here. Never mind.
Yes, I'm a little disappointed in you today, Kevin. Anyways,
By
moving
the
on.
time this issue came out, though, David Lee Roth had left the band. So interesting. Okay.
Yeah, see, I wasn't in the middle, so I don't know time frames and all that, but yeah. So anyways, that's my thoughts. Yeah, great. Like I say, I love the fact that they're kind of setting things up for the future, and they're tying everything up that's been going on. And like we've talked about, they reach back all the way to the second issue of the damn series. That was 65 issues ago, and they pull in references from there. So it's fantastic that the way Larry's got this all tied together, almost like it's planned.
Just a side note, one of the things that I think is cool that I miss growing up as a kid is going by either a Radio Shack store or a TV store and watching TV through the window, and that's how people sometimes would get the news on the spot on the streets, and they're talking about what's happening over in Frusion Land or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And the terror drone plot, what's happening over there. And just that scene where, the Blind Master and Storm Shadow and Jinx and Billy are all together, and that it just breaks open. The news breaks open in a window that they're passing in store. I miss stuff like that. I think it's cool. Definitely dated, but love it. So yeah,
we all have our phones on us now. We've got it, up to date, news whenever we want. Back in the 80s, we didn't have that. Yeah, you either had to wait to get home and check out the nightly news, the newspaper, or happen to catch it as you're walking down the street, like these guys did. So fantastic, yeah. And I was going to move on to the Real American Hero, but before I do that, Mr. Reitzel, you wanted to talk about some ads.
Yeah, I always like to give love because I always go through the original comics, and I did get those new compendiums that have those big thick spines, and I should have had one. But you know which ones I'm talking about? Like it covers issue 1 through 50, and then 50
I've got
through
the
100.
first one. I haven't gotten the second.
I picked
one
up the second one that came to me this last December, I think. But I've left it on the shelf. But I always go through the comics because it's a timestamp of where we were when you're looking at all the ads. And I wanted to showcase a few here. First of all,
I'm editing episode 66 right now, and I was just talking about how someone brought up about the Fall of the Mutants on the cover and the ad. In fact, I think you may have brought that up. Yeah. There's a Fall of the Mutants ad in there. And I'm like, I love how, looking at these issues, it shows us a timestamp, like you said, of what's going on at the time. So,
yeah. And I love this Tang orange juice ad called Tang Soccer Team with the famous player Pele.
Yes.
And if you don't know who Pele was, he was like one of the biggest soccer superstars of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And he was everywhere in the 80s. And he was also in a movie called Victory, loosely based on a true story with co-starring Sylvester Stallone, of prisoner of war soldiers during World War II, played a game of soccer against the German team, And this is where you can get official Tang soccer team application. You send in, I guess, was it like 60 cents? And you get an action poster of Pele, officer or official Tang soccer team iron-on patch, and a rebate catalog that gives you big savings on Spalding soccer gear and Pele's best soccer tips, plus a membership card. I love it when they would have membership cards and you would clip that ad out and send it in. Good times with that. And there's another one here I wanted to bring up as well, is the and I remember seeing this from time to time where Marvel's trying to find out the next big artist. There's the official Marvel Comics tryout that you send in for, and then you kind of follow the steps and you put your own art in it. And it's only $12.95. Send this coupon with your check or money order to Marvel Comics in New York City. And it basically is a how to do it, and then you send it in. And I'm kind of wondering how many times did they find their next artist through this?
I was wondering that too.
official Marvel tryout. And is that Marvel tryout like #1 with Spider-Man and Doc Ock in mint condition? Is that worth some money? I'm kind of curious about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Now here's something that's really cool is the Konami video game cartridge double spread in the middle of the comic here. Whip, dribble, spin, rescue, duck, hurdle, bombard, screen, roll, dive, pass, evade, sprint, raid, dunk, hurdle, blah, 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 blah. Insert Konami video games into your Nintendo Entertainment System and play to your heart. So I'm looking at all the cartridges here. You got Russian Attack, one of my favorites. You got, was it Track and Field, Top Gun, Castlevania, Stinger, Double Dribble, and Goonies 2? I don't remember getting a Goonies 2 movie. I wanted one, and I still want one, but I didn't know there was a Goonies 2 game. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
What was that storyline about in the video game? Does anybody know?
No, I do not, but
and
so keep talking.
So, and one last thing I wanted to bring up was, we're in issue 67 now. And so we know that the value of the earlier G.I. Joe issues are starting to rise. I remember this. And so issue #1, you know how you can order from, back issue comics through Direct Comics and Games, which is located in Los Angeles at this time, but you could also do Mile High Comics and a bunch of those other ones. But here for the Direct Comics one, issue #1 isn't even available. Issue #2, second printing, is $3. Issues 3, 5, 7, 6, and 8 range from $12 to $18 during this time when this issue 67 came out. Issue 21 not available, and not available in a reprint, in case you're wondering. So yeah, yearbook #1 is at $7.50. Yearbook #2 is at $4.50. Yearbook #3 is at $2.50. So you kind of see the price range of where comics are at the time. And for those of us that were loving these comics, trying to go back and get the ones, can only assume in a situation like yours, Aaron, where your first issue was number 55. Did you order through these at all, or did you find them through your local retailer?
No, I ordered some through like Mile High and a couple of others. I've ordered G.I. Joes, or like the Mask miniseries they had out. I ordered a lot of comics through various, like Mile High. I think Mile High was one of the biggest ones I ordered through.
Yeah,
and also
I found a lot of mine through the comic stores and Comic Cons. I I might have ordered a couple online, but I usually wanted to see what I got before I actually ordered it. So yeah,
some things were like, I don't want to buy this no matter what anyway, as long as it's good condition. I don't care. So I ordered some through that, but I did find a lot of new comic shops that way. Yeah, I would go to comic shops, and where I go to town, I'd look for comic shops. And but real quick, Goonies 2 came out in 1987.
Does it have a plot line for it?
It was called Goonies 2: The Fratelli's Last Stand.
Oh, okay.
It's an action adventure game. It's a sequel to the prior Goonie video game.
So I'm assuming the Fratellis escaped the Oregon prison there.
I'm assuming it was released in March of 87 in Japan and November in North America.
Okay.
And then November of 1988 in Europe.
I haven't even seen that cartridge like in game stores. Or
neither have I. It's considered early. It's considered an early example of exploration platform game with an open level design similar to Pitfall 2 and Castlevania 2.
Maybe got buried with all those ET cartridges. Who knows?
It features 2 modes of play: platform and first person. Most of the game is played as the former, as the player works through a non-linear map. The player moves Mikey to new areas of the map by ladders or doors that may act as warp zones. So whatever type of zones are found in the game, each of distinct enemies, graphics, and music. The Fratelli family, Jake, Francis, cousin Pipsqueak, and Ma Fratelli, will frequently appear to pursue Mikey, with the exception of Pipsqueak, who vanishes when hit. They can be stunned briefly with attacks, but cannot be defeated.
That's great. I love it. Thank you for looking that up. That was great.
When you mentioned,
I would not have been able to sleep tonight if you didn't do that. So thank you.
No problem, my friend.
Curious as well.
I think we all were, because I'm like, what is that? I do not recall that. So that was Goonies 2. Did you have anything else on
the ads? I'm good.
Okay. So going back to there we are. Slideshow. That brings us to the next section, which is the Real American Hero.
The Real American Hero.
So this is the Joe, Cobra, or anyone else that did something noteworthy or that should be mentioned. Again, if anyone in the chat has a Real American Hero they want to mention, feel free. We'll play it. Well, I just had you up, so let's bring you back up. Kevin, do you have a Real American Hero?
This is a tough one. I have a runner-up for a silly reason, but I'm going to save that for my favorite page of artwork. I was kind of leaning towards the Blind Master. I just love the Blind Master. I love his personality.
Yes,
and I love the fact that he wears like an outlandish, was it Hawaiian shirt, and
yes,
he takes his chance on a little street rat kid, and I just always liked him. I liked him in the previous issues as well. I just think he's a cool character. I think he's underrated. So I'm going to give it to Blind Master.
Very nice. Not a bad, again, a lot of nice choices. That was one of them. Very nice. And let's bring up David. Do you have a Real American Hero?
Yes, I'm going to go with Outback because as you mentioned, Stalker told him that his fellow Joes would not hold it against him, that the fact that he came back and all the things. And he did not throw the other Joes under the bus.
Yes.
Didn't say a word about the fact that some of them treated him quite badly. And he doesn't know them that much. So his basic experience with them is getting people biting on him. So I thought
he just came in issue 58. So just a few issues later, he went on this mission and
so
came back and got crap from Leatherneck. You're right.
He was the bigger guy.
Yes, very much so. And for me, I'm going to reach back. Again, there was a lot of nice choices. Outback, Stalker, the Blind Master, a lot of nice choices. Lady J for decking Flint. A lot of nice people to choose from, but I'm going to pull an oldie but a goodie. Mine is Quinn. Again, I know he's deceased. This is posthumously, whatever I pronounce that, to our dear departed friend Quinn. But again, since they did a call back to Quinn back in issue 2, I'm going to have to get up to Quinn.
Nice call. I love it.
Like Kevin said, it's sad that they ended up killing him off, but at least he's gone, but not forgotten.
Such a cool character.
I'm still waiting on the classified version of him.
Yeah. Oh God. Right. Yeah.
Definitely gonna buy that one if they come out with it, but you never know. They might.
It's kind of it's a character that you would like to have the occasion to make a retcon. Didn't really happen.
They've all really brought back. They haven't brought Quinn back that I've seen. So moving on to the next section, the favorite page of art. I didn't get one from you yet, Kevin. So let's go and start with you.
Okay.
Let me bring this up again. There you are. And what is your favorite page of art, my friend?
So, my favorite page of art. Okay. First of all, so we have the cover of the famous, Flint getting, hit right there, a good right cross by Lady J. And then we see it happen right there. Right.
Yes.
However, my favorite page of art is the following page here for several reasons. Now, first of all, she's mad at Flint because Flint says to both Scarlet in anger, Scarlet and Snake Eyes, saying, "You could have let us in on it. You didn't have to make fools out of us by pretending to get blown up by a landmine." And then you see the look of Lady J going, "What the hell?" and just smacks him. And then she goes in the panel that I like, the page here, saying, "Snake Eyes and Scarlet did what they did so that you and I wouldn't be implicated. Are you too boneheaded to comprehend that? You talked about caring about people before. Don't you understand that they went through a lot of trouble because they cared? Don't you understand that they care about us as much as," and then he interrupts saying, "You do." And then they get in a brace and are a lovey-dovey. Now, what I love about this panel, there's a lot of stuff going on here, is first of all, let's look at Snake Eyes and Scarlet. Scarlet's going, they made up. and she's leading Snake Eyes away by his hand, and you could tell that they have moments together as well. They're a couple, right? And then this scene here where she's, you know, explaining, and then he goes, you know, you do as well. But my favorite part of this scene is the one at the top here, right? Where everything's going on right after the hit. She goes, Snake Eyes and Scarlet did what they do that they wouldn't, so we wouldn't be implicated. You just see Toll Booth cruising by. What is it? The Mauler? Is that what he drives?
No, it's cross country on the Havoc.
Cross country. Yeah. Cross country on the Havoc. Sorry. You see cross country there just kind of looking, going, yeah, I'm going to just keep on moving. I'm not in the middle of this. There's a ninja over there with a pissed off lady, and I'm not doing it. I'm just going to keep on do. And my runner-up for a real American hero of sometimes you just got to stay the F away from stuff. Yeah. That's my favorite right there. I love that panel. I think Snake Eyes and Scarlet in the bottom look great in that as well. And I love that we get this moment is proving that Lady J and Flit belong together. So there you go.
Yes, very much so. Yes. Very nice. I like that. That was nice. And yeah, there's a lot of nice pages to choose from.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. And I forget which order I did this. Let's go ahead and check. Oh, David's choice. David, would you like to talk about your choice?
Yes.
Good one.
I had three choices in mind, and the one that Kevin chose was one of the runner-ups. The other one that I had in mind was the very first page with the C-130 that is coming above
the splash page. Yeah, that was a good one.
The splash page. Thank you, Kevin. Good thing you're there for the right terms because I don't have them. But
I stole that from other guests that have been on this podcast many times. So I'm just going to say that.
I will do that eventually. Now on the splash page, and I will get to this one after that. The reason that was my runner-up is that you see the scale of the Defiant next to a Mauler, a G.I. Joe APC, two AWE Strikers. See, damn, that's a massive beast. So I almost picked this one, but the one that I chose, it's like when you don't have text bubbles, you see that, and it's like you're just watching a movie in a couple of panels. And when you see the legs of the three guys that are coming out, you know who's coming out of the plane. But when you see that, you almost get chills. Yes. So it was really like watching a movie, very cinematic. So I love that page very much.
Very nice. Great choice, David. Yeah. And, you know, I almost chose this page, but I didn't. I chose the follow-up page.
Yeah.
For much the same reason. Yeah. It's very dynamic, very cinematic. Them coming out and just that look on their face. Again, they're shielding their eyes from the light because it's so bright on them. Those are Gribble Crate pages of our heroes returning from being missing in action, and some great choices there. So they were all great choices. There's a lot of great panels in this book or pages in this book to choose from. So,
and I'd say especially in the first third of the issue, because I really loved the first part, and the other are okay, but I think that the epilogue to the Barovia arc is really what shines in this issue.
I agree. Yeah, I agree 100% there. And Kevin's nodding his head, so I'm assuming he agrees.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah. I like the setting up of the Blind Master's new students. I like the pullback from, like we talked about issue 2, the whole thing of Cobra. But this ending for Barovia has a lot of great pages in it, and that's all of our choices are from that portion of the book. So you can tell that was the most part that stuck out for us. So very much so. Moving on to the next section, unless anyone has anything else. Postbox to Pit. This is from social medias. If I've ever got any emails, I'd read them off on here. I haven't got any in a while. So first off, on Facebook, I've done a couple polls over the last couple of months. One of the first ones I did was about which Cobra Commander origin did you like the best? There was some different choices in there.
Did you say origin?
Origin.
Gotcha.
Cobra Commander's origin, either the salesman from the comic or Cobra Law from the cartoon. Most people prefer the original comic version, the salesman.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I chose. Again, I liked Cobra Law for what it was, but yeah, I prefer the human, just fed up with life and forming an organization. And
There's nothing better than a former used car salesman becoming the leader of the world's most feared terrorism organization.
Yes. And a second poll I did was along the same lines: which version of Cobra Commander? And again, that one actually did a poll on, and the hooded Cobra Commander won with 70% of the votes. 9 votes for the hooded Cobra Commander.
What did you vote for, out of curiosity?
Do you have to ask? The hooded.
I got to be sure, because the first issue you ever picked up was the helmeted one. So
and that was a close second, but the hood is Cobra Commander to me.
I think I voted for the hood, but I love the incognito one so much.
Yes, I think that's what you said. Wow. I believe those were kind of your words.
Yeah,
you vote for the hood, but the incognito is a close second.
Yeah, you have a nice cosplay of the incognito one.
That one's it's so much fun to play. I love that one.
Yeah, the incognito's in the top 3 because that was a great look. I started around that time, and again, Kevin's great incognito costumes, fantastic. I love when we post that. And then the third one, which was in response to issue 65 or episode 65, with the space cover. And on that episode, I don't think any of us were really impressed with it. Had some nice concepts, but we thought they kind of fell down in execution. And my good buddy Kevin was wondering maybe we should do a new segment where we, take an AI version of it. So I posted that online. And
thank you for doing that, by the way. That was great.
No problem. I was editing that episode. I need to do this. So I did that real quick. And
I think you should do that for every issue going forward, just to kind of challenge like the most iconic ones that we love already, to see how AI would transfer it, and if it gives it a run,
right.
So,
and I was thinking about that, and I'm still debating on it, but I did a poll because again, I had I've had AI is very questionable.
It's a hot topic.
Hot topic, yeah, not questionable. Yeah, it's very, again, as a writer, I know I'm on a writers group, and a lot of people are like, well, if I use AI, does that make me a writer? I've got my own opinions on that. I don't like. I was talking to the wife the other day about this, and like AI to me is to be there to review people's taxes, do the hard work, do the menial labor to leave us artist type to actually do art. But so I don't like when AI takes over the art because of that. But right. I do like your suggestion, Kevin. So I did pose that question to the group. Should I add that as a new group or a new segment where I do an AI version of the cover? And 57% of the people that voted said they do not like that concept.
It's too close to tell. Just keep doing it.
It was 8 to it was 8 to 6. It was very close. It was 8 people said don't do it. 6 said they liked the idea. And over on Twitter, I had 2 people that voted, and they both voted against it. But so the majority doesn't like it, but I like the concept of seeing what AI can do with when you take someone's even great art.
Maybe we can come where some in the middle here. How about this? Okay, here's just an idea. Because I know there's some covers coming up that we're going to go, because the covers kind of go down a little bit when we start going a little bit higher up. Maybe if it doesn't get a vote of 4 or higher, if it hovers around 3-ish, maybe, or just under 3, maybe consider it. So yeah,
that's a good call.
Or on the show, we can take a vote amongst us. Say, let's see the AI version of that. Let's see if they can do better with it. I don't know. What do you think, David?
I like that. What do you think, Dave?
A thing that I would like about AI, and I'm not against it because I did use it for illustrations before for characters in my home game of the G.I. Joe RPG. So when I publish stories, I use my own clumsy designs just to make it more truthful. But the concept that you had, I was not against it. I thought that it was not necessary in some way, because when you look at the AI render of number 65, the AI gets a lot of details wrong. So
Yeah.
some parts are maybe more beautiful. What I would like to see for AI, aside from some rules, I would like to know when they produce the illustration from whom they have copied the style. So
Right.
if it could just do that in the style of this person and say it so that the people they get some credit. I'm just saying that because recently on another Facebook group, I saw an AI render, and when I saw Cobra Commander placed like this, I thought, damn, I saw that somewhere. And then I had Joe Darrow, the illustrator, comment, hey, AI stole my stuff. And then I was able to locate the actual image of his Cobra Commander that was placed like this.
Right.
It's the exact same pose that he has. So
And
I
yeah,
don't know.
that's the thing I don't like AI, because I don't like when they steal other people's stuff or they take credit for it.
As long as we give credit to the original artist, which you always
Yeah.
do in the podcast.
If we
But
could
I-
do credit, yeah.
But I gotta say, the AI version of that cover was so much better.
I like it a little better. Again, I know we kind of drag that issue or that
It was
cover
not
on
a
the
good
show.
one.
Yeah.
And in AI's defense, at least for that cover, again, AI, it's technology. It's a computer.
Yeah.
It can only give what you give it. So any inaccuracies, maybe I didn't give enough detail. Because I just I didn't put down, I forgot
Yeah,
to
I
go
would
look.
have to agree that
The-
it would have been able to do a better job. That's for sure.
So, and again, I'm not suggesting replacing AI or any of these artists with AI. It's just, I think it's an interesting concept. So I think I'm going to keep doing that. I think I'll keep doing an AI when I release the issue. And until I get too many complaints and people, threatening to kill me, then maybe we'll stop. But until then, anyway, because again, I do, again, not, and anyone that's listening, I do not take this the wrong way. I'm not suggesting replacing all these artists with AI.
God, no.
I do think it's an interesting concept, whether it's a bad cover, not quite well done, like issue 65, or even
we have given lots
well-done
of props
cover.
and wonderful credit to these comic book artists, and we've had that's why we talk about the covers, because we love their art, and it's a stamp in time, and rarely we talk about a bad cover. It's low percentage, so
Right.
but we've kind of become spoiled to good art in this time, so yeah.
But
they can't all be like issue 43 that you have behind you. That's just so great.
Yeah, I shared it on my my X or Twitter as well, so it's
very
really
nice.
really cool the way someone animated it into a little short video, and
Yeah,
the
that's
Reaper's like Cobra. That's pretty cool.
But yeah, and like I say, I'm just looking at that poster real quick. Yeah, some comments on that. Richard Reiser, they prefer the Marvel version because the Defiant wasn't your ordinary run-of-the-mill space shuttle. It was top of the line. AI is too basic. And I told him, I don't know if this was the supposed to be the Defiant on the cover or just a regular space shuttle. Again, that was part of our complaint with it, is that it wasn't detailed enough to give us a clue exactly which ship it was.
Yeah.
Ronald Dupree didn't like it. Of course, he didn't like the cover in general just because of the real astronauts who died aboard space shuttles. So he's not a fan.
The shading and the covering and it was not a good cover. Yeah.
Again, Eric Smith, our game master for our Energon protocols, he said that Marvel's is more dynamic and action oriented. AI is just a copy of other people's work. Blood for the Baron said Marvel created, AI imitated. Travis Kramer, so he likes to admit he has to admit he likes the background AI image better, but if the Defiant, it's missing something. And again, I'm going to blame that on myself for not making it clear enough in my description when I did that. Brad Abraham
would have to provide some image maybe to help it, because
or maybe if I would have actually,
it should look like this, you get the same kind of result.
Right. And again, I couldn't remember if that was I couldn't tell from the image that we got if that was supposed to be Defiant or another space shuttle, because again, it's part of our complaint about that. But Our very own Brad Abraham said the Marvel's cover use of color is more dynamic. The framing is much tighter, and the overlapping imagery is of an astronaut, which he assumes is payload. And the shuttle provides greater sense of depth. It also employs a three-point perspective, giving the entire image a solid symmetry, whereas the AI-generated cover does none of the above. Look at the Cobra shuttle, and you'll find something that looks like a crossbreed future SF military hardware sloth from the Goonies, going back to the Goonies. And actually looking, I find both shuttles, Cobra shuttles on there look very similar. But Mike Palmer said both are okay, but he's never really a fan of this cover or that particular issue. Our very own Joe Shoeless Jackson, says both have its own flair. Christopher Smith said a Cobra shuttle shoot projectiles in space. Would that be possible? And again, our very own David Martell said Marvel did the work in a specific era regarding the style. I didn't create anything, still good looking, but that's not the point. And yeah, like I said, I don't want anyone to think that I'm wanting to replace AI or replace the actual artist or anything. It's just a nice little thought experiment, if you will, seeing what AI can do, especially on some of these covers that either like 65 wasn't done as well as we would have liked, or maybe even some of these better covers that we think, are fantastic covers. Because I originally just put the cover in there and it gave almost an exact duplicate of it, which isn't what I wanted.
Program or where did you do that with, out of curiosity?
Chat GP, I think, GTP or whatever. I think.
Yeah, that's the big one. Yeah. Okay.
I
cool.
think I did a search because I don't really use AI, so I just did a search and I think that's what came up and I've heard of it, so I went with that. But moving on to Facebook, these are people that either did posted images or made some comments that want to bring attention to. We have Joe Flint. He's very prolific on posting things on the group. Our very own Kevin Reitzel has posted several things over the last couple of months. A lot of his cosplay stuff, which I love. I don't know if I've told you that before, Kevin, but I love when you post your guys' finest stuff. It's fantastic.
We have a lot of talented people in the finest, and
whenever
I can showcase that or mine, it's always fun.
You being one of them, but yeah, no, your group's fantastic. As mentioned a few minutes ago, Joe Jackson, Paul Kush, Peppy Pat Sampson, David T. Allen, Michael Koronakwa, our very own David Martell, Michael Kramer, Brian LaRaza, I'm probably butchering that name, sorry, Brian, and Billy Priest. So thank you guys very much. Again, I post very little on Twitter and Blue Sky, so how much on there to report. But the other one is Patreon, patreon.com/headcastnetwork. The people on there, Bill Bear, Big Danny Cool, and Sean Adams, which I'll be talking more in just a minute. Those are the people on Patreon. Let me see where I'm at on my slides. Yep. Facebook, Patreon. These are how to reach us. You can use an email to gijoe@headspeaks.com. You go to facebook.com/groups/gijoe. You can go to youtube.com/@g.i.joe_headcast. I'm on normally, I forgot to set it up this time. Normally on twitch.tv/brotherhead69, x.com/gijoeheadcast, instagram.com/headcastnetwork, and as I mentioned just a moment ago, patreon.com/headcastnetwork. And you can also hit as I said earlier, again, as I try to use these buttons on here, you can hit the like and subscribe buttons down below to get notified when I do this show. Again, normally the fourth Sunday of every month. You can also call 1-559-500-3182 and leave a voice message, and I'll play that on the air.
I've been meaning to do that, but I'll mask my voice, pretend to be someone else. That'd be kind of fun.
See, early on, Jared tried to do that a couple of times, and
that does not surprise you.
559-500-3182. Leave a voicemail, and I will play that on the air. Moving on to the next segment of the show, the Soldier of the Month. The Soldier of the Month is someone that's done something special or deserves some other call out to the show, or as Kevin found out a couple episodes ago, or maybe it was last episode, do something for me.
Oh, I straight up bribed you with that one.
Yes, I'm not above bribery. I'm willing to admit that. But this month, our Soldier of the Month to me is someone very special due to my own life shenanigans and everything else. I didn't check Patreon as much as I should have because I was trying to do some editing and some other stuff. But I found out, unfortunately, our one of our Patreon subscribers, Sean Adams, passed away.
Oh no!
Apparently, he passed away August the 14th of 2025. So again, I was delayed in finding out about that. But yeah, due to Sean being a big supporter of the show, being a big Patreon supporter, unfortunately, he did pass away. So again, my condolences to Sean's family. He's a great guy. I looked at his page. Yeah, he's very well loved by his family. Sean, you will be missed, but you do get the honorary Soldier of the Month.
Rest in peace, Sean.
To our Soldier of the Month. From all of us here at G.I. Joe, a Royal American Headcast, in the Headcast Studios, we salute you. I've been having a lot of fun, joking, goofing off, but I hate to bring the show down, but I did want to mention, that Sean Adams unfortunately passed away. So I felt he deserved to have a Soldier of the Month for that, for just being a great guy.
Definitely. Much appreciated on that.
Yeah. Rip Sean Adams. But let's go ahead and move on from there. Let's back up a second. So we're going to take a quick commercial break on that depressing news, and we'll be right back with the cartoon.
G.I. Joe will return after these messages.
Okay, and then we'll take a quick break. I'll play some promos. I don't know if I've asked you, David, do you have a promo for your...
No, just myself talking.
All right, will you ever get one, let me know, and I play it on there also.
Maybe one day.
And after we get done, if you guys stick around, I'm doing the individual recordings this time, so if you can stick around when the show's over to make sure those finish up.
Yep.
Is it ready to continue?
Yep.
Okay.
Now back to G.I. Joe.
So here we are with G.I. Joe, the cartoon. Let me go ahead and advance my slide. And
Yo, Joe! He'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe, American hero. G.I. Joe is there. It's G.I. Joe against Cobra the enemy, fighting to save the day. He never gives up, he's always there, fighting for freedom over land and air. G.I. Joe! G.I. Joe is there!
G.I. Joe is the code name for America's daring, highly trained Special Mission Force. Its purpose, to defend human freedom against Cobra, a ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world.
He never gives up, he'll stay till the fight's won. G.I. Joe will dare. G.I. Joe, American hero. G.I. Joe.
I love that intro. Not as much as the movie, but I love the G.I. Joe. It makes me smile whenever I see that. Even when I'm watching the cartoons, I can skip through the intro, but I don't. I let it play just because I enjoy I enjoy it. But yes, we're here to look at G.I. Joe. We're coming to the end of the first season.
This is the second to last episode. 54,
Yeah,
55, I think, right?
We're looking at the No Place Like Springfield Part 1. Yeah, we're at the next episode is the last episode of the season. So while try that again. Real quick, I'm skipping a few things. The director was John Gibbs and Terry Lennon. The writer, the late and great Steve Gerber, who we talked a little bit about with when we had Flint Dilly on the podcast 2 episodes ago. Or no, it was last episode. Good, I'm way behind. First aired December the 12th, 1985. And the synopsis from Wikipedia. While on an island, Lady J and Shipwreck are on a rescue mission to save Professor Mulani, a scientist who claims to develop the formula capable of turning water into an explosive. When they find him, he implants the secret formula into Shipwreck's brain, which can only be released by a secret code word that he gives to Lady J. Shipwreck passes out trying to escape after a Cobra assault and wakes up 6 years later in a town called Springfield with Mara from an earlier episode entitled Memories of Mara as his wife and a daughter named Althea. G.I. Joe has won the war against Cobra, but Shipwreck tries to find out how many years he's missed. So that is No Place Like Springfield. Let's go ahead and get some thoughts on this. This time we will start with Mr. Martell. Dave, do you have thoughts on this episode?
Oh, yes. I love that one so much. If I had to do a top 5, it would be in there for sure.
Very nice.
You have a very different feel compared to the rest of the episodes. I mean, it often goes in many directions, and not always the militaristic ambience that you have. When I first saw this one, it's in 1986, so I was 7. I thought it was very traumatic, and I normally I would not have missed any episode of G.I. Joe, but I hadn't seen before the synthoids. So when they started transforming in some kind of gooey substance, I thought it was the stuff of nightmare, just like Shipwreck did. But the whole jump in the future, the fact that Cobra has been beaten and that the Joes are just living normal lives, all that was very interesting as a point of view. So just for the uniqueness of these two parts, this is one that I like very much.
Very nice. And Kevin, thoughts on this episode?
Of course. I've got thoughts on this one. I've got some thoughts. So we get the opening of this where it's a little 2-person stealth mission team here using the shark. We get Shipwreck and Lady J. I don't know what it was about this episode, but the shark toy or the shark vehicle, and there's also the toy, shark vehicle, very underrated vehicle, because not only is it a submersible, can be going underwater, but it can fly in the air as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you should put more weapons on this thing and just make it much cooler, and maybe not paint it white. I don't know, but it makes me want to buy the toy after watching this episode. Because you could fly it around. It's got jet propulsion, and then you can go underwater with it. I mean, there's not a lot of vehicles that can do that, even in reality. And what do you guys think? I mean, really?
No, I like it. Yeah, I've got one, maybe boxed up somewhere right now, but yeah, I've got it.
Just
the original
concept of that type of vehicle is very cool, So yeah,
yes,
a little and it can hold 2 people, which is neat. So this is interesting here. So Shipwreck and Lady J. Lady J carried a knife and a crossbow and arrows with a quiver. And Shipwreck, no visible weapon except a knife and a backpack. Now I'm wondering, was there a mix-up here? Because usually Lady J has her javelin type thing or something like that, but she's got a crossbow and arrows with a quiver. That's kind of a Scarlet thing.
Yeah, it's very much reminiscent of Scarlet. I don't know if it was a mix up with an artist or what happened there.
I'm going to come back to this later, but Polly did a lot of talking in this episode, and I enjoyed every second of it. I'm just going to say.
Yes.
All right.
You're not alone, my friend. You're not alone.
Yeah. Professor Mulaney sounded a lot like Cobra Commander, so I'm guessing it might have been the same voice actor.
Chris Latta.
Yeah. I love that Major Blood responded to the Firebat pilot about the Joes trying to escape. He says, "I think we can accommodate you, lad. We've been invited to a shooting party, boys." It kind of reminded me of that scene from was it Two Towers, where the orcs are taking Merry and Pippin away, and then there's like a little argument between the orcs about what to do with them, and then the lead Uruk-hai orc kills one of them and says, looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
Yeah.
I just recently watched all of the Lord of the Rings extended in a marathon recently, so it's fresh in my mind. Okay, guys, I don't know if we've ever discussed this, but why are the Joe lasers red and the Cobra lasers blue? Shouldn't it be the other way around?
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
I
good
don't think we
blue,
discussed that, but yeah,
red bad. I mean, Star Wars, usually you get the blue good, red bad.
yeah. No, that's a very good question.
I'm just gonna throw that out there. By the way, you know how when you have a flying vehicle in the Joe cartoon era be damaged or destroyed, there's always someone, the pilot jumps out with a parachute.
Mhm. Yep.
There was I think it was a Firebat that crashed into the water and didn't parachute.
Oh,
Let's have a moment of silence for that pilot. Because I'm assuming
yeah. I was
they're dead,
watching
right?
earlier. There was one that crashed into a mountain or something, and we did see the pilot ejecting.
Yeah. Well, this time
Yeah.
maybe
Oh.
because it's the water, and maybe that's safer to crash into the water than it is like the ground. But I'm just saying there was
Yeah.
no parachute there. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mara, when you get shipwrecked in this new world, right? He's wondering what's
Right.
going on. We know what's going on, but as a first time viewer, like, what's going on here? And he's got the head wound and everything. So Mara's his wife and Althea's his daughter. So I had to go, why does Mara sound familiar? And then he mentions that the last time he saw her, she was basically part fish. And in the episode of Memories of Mara that we discussed here, for those of you that maybe don't remember, or myself, I forgot, Shipwreck rescues Mara, a blue-skinned woman genetically modified by Cobra, as a former Cobra eel test subject designed for aquatic combat.
Yep.
She was mutated with fish DNA. Shipwreck falls in love with her as she defects, aiding the Joes against Cobra before eventually joining them. The bigger question, though, is who names someone Althea? The last time I heard anyone named Althea was, I think it was a distant relative, or I think it was a grandmother that died on Friends, and that was part of that famous scene where both they're fighting for the room. And there's the big trivia contest that Ross hosts, and they have to. And I think Althea was one. That was the only other time I've ever heard the name Althea.
Well, real quick, Althea, it's a feminine name of Greek origin, derived from the Greek word althein, meaning to heal with healing power.
So
It's
basically an old lady name.
Yeah, deep rooted in Greek mythology, representing a nurturing and restorative figure, also associated with the marshmallow plants.
Okay. Well,
It's
speaking of
funny
figure,
because I
what was
always thought that Althea was such a beautiful name.
And here's Kevin shiting on it.
yeah, just Althea. I mean, what do you call her for short? Al? Thea? I don't know. Yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
Thea.
Thea for
Side
sure.
note, Mara hot.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, I said it. So 6 years have
surprised.
passed. 6 years have passed. The flag has sunk. Shipwreck was marooned on a desert island, and this is what Mara is explaining what's happened.
Right.
Then he sailed on a homemade boat, castaway, a la Castaway style,
Yes.
to Pearl Harbor. I like how we know this didn't really happen, but we're still seeing it happen, which I thought was kind of
Yes.
interesting. But hey, Shipwreck, he's a badass. He knows the sea. So there you go. I mean, he's genuine seaman. Okay, so if you know me and you've been listening to me on the show for the longest time, I always mention this. Another shout out to to Cobra and its architects for the awesome Cobra Temple Alpha. Oh my God, that base was cool. God, I want to live in a Cobra hideout one day. This thing's just badass. So I did so his address when they brought him to Springfield was 6 Village Drive. I actually Googled it. What other 6 Village Drives are there throughout the United States? There was about 12 of them all over the Midwest, East Coast, more in the Midwest, East Coast. So I thought that was kind of funny. I did that. So
real quick,
ants, what's that?
Let me interrupt you real quick. There's also another reference to that. Apparently, which I didn't realize, it's also a reference to a TV show called The Prisoner from back in the day.
Okay.
That's where he lived, was 6. He lived at that same address. So
Nice shout out. Okay, very cool. I like
which I'll bring up when I talk more, but yeah, I want to bring that up real quick. Yeah, that
nice.
was maybe the reference to it. But anyways, carry on.
It's funny you say that, because on our recent episode of Culture Clash, we decided to have a best sci-fi TV series fantasy football draft where you pick your favorite shows, but once
I
it's
saw
been
that.
picked, no one else can pick it. Well, one of my buddies, Robert, he actually picked that show, The Prisoner, as one of his favorites of all time. So Aunt Scarlet has a banger blue sports car with a crossbow on the hood. I thought that was kind of a cool thing there. And she and Duke bought the car 3 years ago. They're a couple. They're doing it.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Evil Polly the parrot, the evil one, probably synthoid version here. Sends for Cobra in the ambulance by putting by basically turning on that light that did something and triggered something within Shipwreck to go kind of insane. And I'm going to come back to Evil Polly Parrot. I thought it was really weird that inside the living room that this Springfield living room that Shipwreck was in, there's a weird stuffed puffer fish in his living room, just kind of random there. Just a weird, I mean, he had guns on the wall and he had, was it the steering thing?
It was a very nautical room.
Yeah.
So,
but a stuffed puffer fish, that was just weird. Weird named daughter Althea, fake daughter, has a cat plush named Stupid. I just thought that was funny. And she holds it up. So that's great.
Yeah.
I love the fact that in this alternate reality fake world, but I want to see a side spin-off TV series with Torpedo, Deep Six, and Shipwreck, and all the shenanigans that happen at Marina del Shipwreck.
Yes.
The business that they all own, I thought was great. And I love that evil Cobra Polly is trying to, because he knows that Shipwreck confides in him and talks with him. And this parrot knows way too much of the English language, but it's great. Is saying, "Oh, talk, spill the beans, talk to Shipwreck." I thought that was great. And then at the end here, we got melting roadblock at the car wash. Shipwreck gets punched by one of these three dudes. Then he goes to jail. He eats some bad food, and then he falls through a trap door in the jail to evil Joes that start to melt. Shipwreck goes insane and gets trapped in congealed mass of melting Joes. This is fantastic writing for the 80s, and I'm being serious. I love this. And I just want to say by saying this is that I became a huge fan of Shipwreck because of the cartoons. I felt like he didn't get due justice in the comic books at all.
You're right.
A lot has to do with his the way he's profiled, his voice, his little jokes, his relationship with the talking parrot. And it all started with the Pyramid of Darkness, because he had a major role in that miniseries along with Snake Eyes. And not only did he he and Snake Eyes and I forget who else it was, but they did a break dancing routine. But it was also this 2-part episode that just solidified my fandom for Shipwreck. Thus, it was the first costume I did and got approved for the G.I. Joe costume group, The Finest. I love Shipwreck. He's one of my top 3 favorite Joes and favorite characters throughout the G.I. Joe series. And I kind of wish we would have gotten him in the live action series for one reason or another.
Yes.
We did not. And that's sad. So,
the only problem with that is I would want Shipwreck as we're seeing him in the cartoon.
Yeah,
totally. Shirt, but I don't think they would give us that if they brought him in. They would give him a more standardized look.
You could give him the look. I think that would be cool, to where he was so popular, that the creators of the Venture Brothers made fun of his character and did a funny version of that character throughout that cartoon series, which I thought was funny. But those are my thoughts on There's No Place Like Springfield, Part 1.
And yeah, I also like Shipwreck. And again, it, like you said, Kevin, due to the the cartoon, because he showed up in the comic occasionally, but nowhere near the love that the cartoon gave him. Between, like I said, his first appearance all the way through here, and he continues on to the next season. Shipwreck, that whole, just the way he's voiced, just his love-hate relationship with Polly. It's just fantastic. And
he's got that classic sailor's outfit that I think is cool, and he's got those boarding hooks that his figure has, and the flintlock pistol. I just think that's really cool.
Yeah, I would love to see him in the live action. I'm just afraid they would screw it up and try to make him more standardizzed,
Yeah.
which in my opinion would be a mistake. So my thoughts on this, I've got quite a bit of thoughts on this, I think. I've got it on my computer, but just so I don't feel left out. That doesn't work as well.
Here, I'll do it.
Thank you.
There you go. There you go. For the listeners.
I love that they have this episode is entitled Springfield, and they have Springfield on the show because again, Springfield's been a long time staple in the comic. So I do love that bled over into the cartoon. Fantastic. When the professor was implanting the memories inside of Shipwreck, Lady J, you're gonna put the formula in there. love that back and forth there. Tote that barge, lift the professor. Again, love Polly and all of Polly's comments, and fantastic, great character. When the Rattlers were attacking the flag or whatever the carrier was, why not hurry up and get some of those other sky strikers airborne?
I know,
A
right?
couple was blown up as they were trying to, but there were still plenty of them on the ship that we saw just sitting there. A mistake, maybe. When Shipwreck was in the hospital, he said the only family he has is his Uncle Al. If you remember back to one of the previous two-parters, he had a nephew and his nephew's family. I know the nephew was adopted, but since it was his nephew, I'm assuming that was his brother or sister that he was visiting. So I don't know if that was a mistake or what happened there. When he said that stood out to me. To kind of what Kevin was talking about earlier, Shipwreck's his sitting room, the living room where he was at. You got the net on there, the mast or whatever from the ship. Just a very sailor theme. I love that it's very much tailored to Shipwreck. Also, yeah, he has the business with Deep Six and Torpedo. So it seems like they're all in business together, but the marina is named after Shipwreck. Again, if you think about this more objectively and questioning things, is this playing up the Shipwreck's ego? Why would it just be his name if it's all three of them in the business? Something to think about for next episode, maybe. When the ambulance took Shipwreck away, they took him to the car wash instead of taking him to the hospital. I know it doesn't matter where they took him for the scene that followed, but it would have made more sense for him to go to the hospital and have something down there, but I don't know. Again, if you're watching the episode, you're paying attention. They said that Lady J died on the flag during that attack, yet they were still able to get the information for Shipwreck's head. Something's not making sense. As Kevin mentioned, roadblock melting, very much like a synthoid. And that was nice for Shipwreck when he ate that tainted tuna fish sandwich to pass out right on that discolored part of the floor that would open up to deliver him down below. I thought that was very nice of him. And as we're watching this, the wife watched the last part. She came in while I was watching it and watched the last part of this. And first of all, she didn't care for Althea. She thought the kids sounded very
she
whiny.
hated the name too?
No, she hated the fact that Althea was so whiny.
Oh, gotcha.
Her voice. And then she was also commenting, when Shipwreck was going insane there at the end and being attacked by the synthoids, by his companions that melted down. She's like, for a G.I. Joe member, he is awfully whiny. Like, well, he's watching his friends melt down into goo. And he's having a bit of a mental breakdown. You may too, But yeah, those are my thoughts. Yeah, the wife thought Shipwreck was very whiny when he was being caught up in, all that whole mess there at the end. So, but yeah, I do love, again, as I've always said, I love the cartoon in general. This is what got me into G.I. Joe. But for the most part, the two-parters are my favorite episodes, or the multi-parters even. But yeah, and I love that this one has references to the Synthoid conspiracy. It has references to Memories of Mara. So I love these callbacks to these other episodes.
Is it safe to say that this two-parter is one of like the top 10 episodes that people always refer to?
Oh,
It feels like to me. What do you think, David?
Yeah, I will think the same way because that one is so unique, and And you mentioned Aaron, the memories of Mara. So when you find out that they got together when she was cured, you just feel like, hey, that's a logical plan.
Yes.
That later, so you just think that it fits. So it brings a lot of different story aspects. So you have the love story of those two that you want to hear more about.
Hmm.
You see the Joes that has have normal lives, and you and just to piggyback on the thoughts that you both had. Polly just saves the day, so he speaks a lot, of course, and knows a lot of words, but he's just a great parrot. But he does save the day, and you usually see Polly being like a comic relief, but that's when you think he's a trained animal, very intelligent. Sorry, and you have a big proof of that, of how he is really useful to shipwreck.
Yes. Yeah, no, yeah. This one is a bit more of a serious episode, and the other one that is the Worlds Without End. The other two part, one of the other two part is another serious episode that I think a lot of people
Yes,
refer back to.
Yeah.
that and the traitor as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I said, all these two parters they have, in my opinion, are fantastic. I love the two parters, and for the most part, yes, the alternate traveling to an alternate world is far fetched, but these tend to be a little
So
bit more,
good though. So good.
oh, very much so.
God, yeah. Loved it.
These tend to be a little more serious, a little bit more real world than the Germ and a lot of these other more humorous episodes we get. But fantastic.
The better one is when the authors did not take kids for kids. So that was serious business. And as Flint was saying the last time, when they did the show, they were thinking about the dads that were at home because they didn't have much work at the time. There was a crisis, I believe, in the United States for work. So like in Skeleton in the Closet, the gown was ready for the daddies.
Oh yeah.
But I think it influenced my crush that I had as a kid for Lady J. Maybe not the gown, but Lady J in general.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, I never got much younger. Yeah, you were 6 when this came out. I was 17 when this came out.
Yeah, I was
senior in high school. I just started my senior year in high school, so. Or was this?
I was watching this stuff in secret. I was at the age where I was like,
oh no, it was 15.
My peers were like not cool with watching this stuff, and so I was watching this GI Joe stuff.
You say that, but when I was, think I was 10, and in my my elementary school, I was known as Baby GI Joe.
Nice.
Just because I still liked it, and my
loud
friends,
and proud. I love it.
Yeah, and my friends who called me on the weekend to play with me, to play with GI Joe with me, were the ones
you were a bit younger.
That's great.
Yeah,
I love that.
And I was doing the math. I was 15 actually when this came out. It came out in 85. I get mixed up the comic. So yeah, no, I was in high school though, and yeah, I didn't have any. I wasn't taken seriously anyway, so I didn't have to do it in hiding. I was loud and proud of my geekdom and being an outcast anyway, so I didn't hide it, for better or worse. Anyways, enough about my tragic past. Any other thoughts on? Where am I at? There we are. The cartoon.
It's what I thought was interesting when we were started to, and I want to bring it up again because it's been a while, is that we are covering only 2 full seasons considered for the series. And each season was like, I think it's 55 episodes for season 1.
The first was 55, 56 episodes. Second one wasn't quite as long.
Yeah, like 40 something or something like that. So I think it's like a total of 80 something episodes, high 80s. And it feels like this show went on forever.
Yes.
Because if you think about it, this was 55 episodes and there's 53 weeks in a year. So it feels like that it just went on for years and years, and so that's why I'm glad we're covering these, because some of these I don't remember, and they're like watching it for the first time again, and some of them I do, and it's fascinating of how we comprehended time back then compared to now.
Yes.
When you're getting only 80 something episodes for 2 seasons. Of course, most TV shows back in the 80s through the 90s and early 2000s, we got full seasons of either like 18 to 26 episodes depending on what it is. So yeah.
So just double checking, this was episode 55. I'm sorry, there's 55 episodes first season. The second season only had 30 episodes. Counting all three miniseries, the 5-part miniseries, there was 95 episodes total for these 2 seasons. So,
yeah, and they were always on repeat. They always
Yes.
repeated them later. So yeah,
and I think that's why, much like you, it seems like this went on forever, but it was only 2 years. And yeah, like I said, I missed the Deke series when it came out. So yeah, I just only had 2 years of this, but it seems like so much longer. And I guess it was more like 3, because the first mini series came out, and then it was like a year or something. Showing back to that page, because this was an 85. No, let me see. Look at this one. Yeah, this was 85, and the very first mini series premiered in 83. So, because there was the first miniseries, The Mass Device, which was 83, September of 83. And then the second miniseries came out September of 84. And then the third year is when they started the series. So I think that's another reason why it seemed like it went on for so long, is because we had those 2 miniseries. And then we got a regular series. It was, but it was 55 episodes, which, it was a daily program. So we had 5 episodes a week for the most part. And then we'd have them in the summertime, we'd have reruns of them. So
it was great coming home after school and catching these episodes. God, it was great.
Yeah. Those Thundercats,
yeah,
Mask, the whole, like 2-hour
Inspector
block.
Gadget, Robotech. God,
the whole 2-hour block after school.
Jeez.
Fantastic. And I've talked about this before. I mean, now you've got cartoon, channels, just cartoons all day long. And again, not to be that old man saying, yelling at these kids to get off my lawn, but I think the kids, they are missing something between the great animation we had on these, some of the great storytelling they had, and the fact that, you couldn't just flip on the TV. You couldn't go to Tubi and watch this.
Yeah.
You had to watch it when it was on, or
appointment
record
television.
Yes. So while it's great to be able to watch it whenever you want.
Where were you on a Thursday night watching Thursday Night Lineup at NBC? I mean,
exactly. Yes. Yeah. We, as teenagers and kids, we lived by the TV guide. At least I did. I lived by the TV guide,
Great. Oh my God.
Okay. What's going on? Okay. This is on. I'd get the TV guide at the beginning of the week. Okay. So Monday night, I'm going to watch this. Tuesday
David,
night.
did you guys get a version of the TV guide in Canada?
It was the TV Hebdo that we had.
Gotcha.
But yeah, fantastic. Any other thoughts on the cartoon? Now we're kind of veering off. And any other thoughts on the cartoon?
I'm just going to confess right now. I went back. When I was watching this and making notes, I let it play because I'm watching it on Tubi as well. And I had to watch what happens next because I couldn't wait until whenever you record the next episode. Damn you, Mr. Head.
I will be doing it next month. Unless something comes up, I'm getting back to a monthly schedule, so we will be back next month.
I had to do it, so yeah.
I'm holding off just because it's not been that long. I was watching these when I was working swing shifts. So
depending on when you do it, I might not be here. I might be traveling to Australia.
Okay.
So it depends on when, if I can make it or not. But yeah.
Well, when you're traveling, but I'm looking tentatively the 22nd of February is what I'm looking at.
22nd. Oh, I could do the 22nd.
So I said, if you're not going to be here, let me know if you want to record your thoughts and send them to me. If you can't be here.
No, yeah, I'm leaving later that week, so the 22nd I should be good. So yeah.
Yeah, as long as nothing comes up, I'm planning the 22nd of February being here to talk about issue 68 and part 2.
Yeah, good stuff.
So let me get back to my slideshow. Oops, that's not what I want. That's what I want. So next up is the PSA. And again, these are the PSAs that I'm going by. Where is that? JoeGuide.com. And these are the PSAs that supposedly aired with this episode.
Look at all the people. Billy, what's the matter? Billy!
My friend passed out.
Help me get him up.
Never lift the head of a person who's fainted.
Airtight.
Keep him flat and raise his legs. Now loosen his clothes and use a wet cloth.
What happened?
You passed out. Remember, if someone faints,
Never lift their head.
you got it.
Now we know.
And knowing's half the battle.
G.I. Joe!
So, any thoughts on that PSA? Did you watch these growing up, Dave?
We didn't have those at all.
Okay.
Oh,
What do
you
they-
were robbed of.
Yes.
You were robbed. Oh
To
my
me,
God.
that was part of the cartoon. Was these PSAs? That was
We were
fantastic.
robbed of both of two things: the PSAs and all the nice ads that you had. Because in Quebec, for the French market, it was completely illegal. So we never had the toy commercials in Quebec,
Oh,
in French at least. I think that the CBC had that, the English channels.
see, I say a lot of good things about Canada, but that's one thing I will disparage them for not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys, yeah, you get a little knock on that. That's just bad.
Yeah, you guys have great health. From what I hear, you guys, you guys don't have a. Never mind. I'm not gonna-
I wanted to not like poutine, but I did.
Yeah, it's classic.
Yeah, no, and I know you watch these, Kevin. Again,
Oh,
these
God,
were
yeah. And the
staples.
DVDs, the complete series DVDs has them. On
Yes,
there,
it does.
Kind of cool. So
Yeah, I
they're
love that.
all in all too as
We have
well.
them as well.
But and yeah, you said you didn't get a lot of the commercials or any of that, Dave. Well, here's one for you. Wrong one. This one.
To protect America, a top secret team creates the battle vehicles of the future.
We're in real trouble here, Hawk! I'm calling in Battle Force 2000! Battle Force 2000! Secret Force of G.I. Joe! They're splitting in two and reforming! Battle Force 2000! It's a contract! They can take on any foe! Oh, G.I. Joe! Cobra!
Will Battle Force 2000 finally defeat Cobra? Find out in Marvel Comics.
That's where you see what season 3 could have been, because clearly the toy commercials were not done by Deke.
Yeah, but yeah, that's gonna be our next episode. We're gonna talk about issue 68 and the introduction of Battle Force 2000. Love them or hate them, they're coming up. So, unless you guys have any other thoughts, Kevin, any other thoughts on the cartoon comic?
No,
TV
I
ladies?
think we covered it well, and it was a lot of fun. Glad to be back. It's been a while, so thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Always, David. Any other thoughts on either one?
No, I didn't have any other thoughts. And the last one that you did a show like that, we didn't have snow in Quebec. So I remember it's been a while.
Yes. Unfortunately, I go. God, it's been damn. Yeah, I do the life thing of my own life, and the holidays and everything. Yeah, I just didn't get around to it. But I am back for now, so trying to get this on a more regular monthly basis. But
That's great to get you back.
Yes.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. So, Kevin, if people want to hear more from you and your fantastic shows, where can they go?
Well, you can find me. I'm on Facebook at Kevin Reitzel, and also you can see a lot of my posts, of course, in the GI Joe Real American Headcast Facebook group. You can find me on all the socials at Spartan_Phoenix, which of course includes Instagram, X, Discord, Letterbox, which is a great app that I use to keep track of movies and review movies. So check that out. Also on Blue Sky as well. But also please check out the Fandom Podcast Network. I'm the co-founder of the Fandom Podcast Network. We're on YouTube and of course on all of your audio podcast catchers. And we have a lot of great podcasts under the Fandom Podcast Network umbrella. Our movie podcast, which is Couch Potato Theater. One of my favorites that we do too is Time Warp, where we cover an entire year of movies and pop culture month by month. This year we just finished 1990, And we're staying in the 90s for this year of 1996, celebrating its 30th anniversary. And there's some really good movies that came out in 1996. And we have a show once a month talking about the movies that came out that month and all the pop culture that surrounds it. We also got a Star Wars podcast, my Bloody Kings Highlander podcast, our hair metal podcast, our Star Trek and Orville podcast, Union Federation. We got a lot of fun stuff, including Culture Clash, which is our main show. And we just did a wonderful, as I mentioned, a fantasy football style draft on all of our favorite sci-fi TV series. We're going to be talking about perfect films. Is your favorite movie a perfect film? We're going to discuss that. And we're also going to be doing the next draft is going to be 80s action movies. So stay tuned to the Fandom Podcast Network. Please give a subscribe, shout out. We'd appreciate it.
Definitely check it out. Kevin's got some great shows on there. Love it. And speaking of shows, David.
Yeah, I would like to ask Kevin, do you do live shows with those? Because sometimes I see on Facebook that the subject is like this movie. Oh, that's great. I want to listen to that show. And I realize that on Facebook, that's like if you missed it, that's going to air that day. So I always miss the live one and didn't notice when you were live. So
yes,
I have my notifications that are active on YouTube. But
if you subscribe to us, the Fandom Podcast Network on YouTube, you'll get notifications just like you do here on the GI Joe podcast with Aaron's network here. We do live shows. The ones that we always do live are the Culture Clash live, where we usually have a topic, and we also talk about the news and what's new and stuff like that. And if you miss the live broadcast, it's already there on YouTube, and we do release the audio version of the live ones, but we usually will do it the next week or a few days later because we want people to check out the YouTube stuff. But yeah, we do live shows. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, because I do miss a lot of those shows. When I get to catch some, really you have awesome content, so that's really great to watch.
Yeah, we do some selective like movie podcast live as well. If we feel like it's a good thing to do and stuff like that. So
yeah, I try to catch more of those. As for me, you've seen maybe with the image I am. Advertising my stuff as G.I. Joe RPG stories. So I am a game master for the G.I. Joe role-playing game, and I also play in the G.I. Joe Energon protocols with Aaron and some other guys. When I play, it was the very first time that I got to play, because I had been a game master for quite some time. And what I find so interesting about being a game master is all the collective storytelling that you produce with the player. So I do present them with some ideas. I have a framework, but all the shenanigans from the players, I just think sometimes we don't do a podcast, we don't record the games that we play, and it's in French anyway most of the time. But I always think that it's so interesting. So I do write after action reports based on the game sessions that we have, and I'm trying to make that an interesting read, so it's not just I hope it's not formulaic. So it's not they go there, do that. It's not like just a chronology of what happened. So I am a writer at the core. I'm a TV writer, and for weird circumstances, I don't get to write professionally these days. So I get my fix from writing after action reports for the G.I. Joe RPG. And I do have a WordPress that I started a while ago. So it's G.I. Joe RPG stories.wordpress.com. And recently I had been wanting to do that for quite some time. I thought I already write the episodes, so maybe I could narrate them and make like a real podcast. I do have pictures that I can post. So I decided to make the jump, and I was encouraged. I was really supported by Charles Cushman, with whom we play in the G.I. Joe Energon Protocols podcast. And the first time that I did it, it didn't have music because we reasons to release it quickly. And then I went back, and the second one I did add music, and what I've been the aspects for which I received the most comments were the characters that I do, because as a game master, I do enjoy, like Kevin, portraying the characters. So I've been told that I do a mean Polly. So if you want to check that out, Kevin, I'd like to get your thoughts. But I do enjoy making many characters, and we do have a Springfield in my show. I treat that like a TV show.
Very nice.
So my Springfield is in Wyoming. It's all fleshed out, and we are at season 4, episode 2 for the reports. I do seasons of 10 episodes, but we just played last night episode 5 of the first season. So it's been going for quite a while, since August 2023, and I think I talked enough. I don't talk often, but sometimes I talk a lot. So if you people would like to take a look at that, it's a passion project. So there are no AI voices. The result, I can see that the result will be sometimes better, but I'm getting better at narrating, and I have just so much fun doing the characters. And I did research to learn how to make a Mexican accent for the last one. So you'll see, I did my best.
Well, shout out to you if you guys are if you're listening to this podcast, check out the video, because you have a wonderful display of fandom for your G.I. Joe fandom behind you, and it looks great. So yeah.
Yes, very nice. And yeah, for me, I posted mine earlier. Again, I'm on either G.I. Joe Romer Headcast or the Headcast Network. I'm going to be here the 4th Sunday of the month, 1:00 p.m. California time. Again, as usual, as Kevin said, hit the like and subscribe buttons down below to get notified when I do this show. If you like what I'm doing, hit the like button. Can definitely use more likes, more subscribers. Won't say no to that. As I mentioned earlier, you can contact us at 1-559-500-3182 and leave a voicemail, and I will play that on the air. If you send an email in, gijoe@headspeaks.com, that'll be played on the air. I'll read those on the air. But I want to thank everybody that's listening to this out in the audience. Bring up my things. Again, I want to thank those watching live. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Thanks to Dave and Kevin. I have Brad on there because might have been here, but I forgot to update that. But yeah, I want to thank all my guests that show up on my shows. I appreciate you guys. Like I say, next month, we'll be looking at issue 68, the introduction of Battle Force 2000, and the final part of the first, the season finale of G.I. Joe Season 1. There's No Place Like Springfield, Part 2. So join us. Until next month, remember, I think that's everything. Yes, remember, until next month, remember, knowing is half the battle. If I guess one at a time, Yo Joe. Kevin?
Yo Joe.
And Dave.
Yo Joe.
And that's where we're going to end it, so bear with me.
G.I. Joe, a Real American Headcast, is available monthly on iTunes, Stitcher, and at headspeaks.com. All characters and stories are owned and trademarked by their respective owners. We claim no ownership other than our opinions. All audio and images are used for entertainment purposes and falls under fair use. We make no money from this headcast. For more of the monthly G.I. Joe, check out the IDW series. For the stories we're covering, look for the comics and trade paperbacks. Let us know what you think. Send us an email letting us know your thoughts. Joe's dismissed.